Hey everybody, it's low carb and keto nutrition specialist Amy Berger from 2itnutrition.com, bringing you, as always, keto without the crazy. How do you talk to other people about keto? First rule of Keto Club: don't talk about Keto Club. I did a video a while back about dealing with non-keto doctors, or I should say sort of non-keto friendly doctors, like doctors that kind of poo-poo it or want to talk you out of it. I will put a link to that. I'm not even really going to get into that because that video really gets into detail in interacting with your medical provider if they are not friendly to your low carb or keto way of eating. Let's keep this video to the interactions with family and friends and acquaintances, coworkers, that type of thing. This is such a huge issue, and I don't really know why. I mean, I know why, but I wish it wasn't such a big issue, because I don't understand why grown adults are so concerned with what other grown adults put in their mouth. Why is this even a thing? Why do we care? And again, I do know why we care, right? If you have a friend or a loved one who has type 2 diabetes or PCOS or cardiovascular disease or non-alcoholic fatty liver or epilepsy or some other thing that we know keto is really good for, I understand that you want to spread the word, and even that is kind of problematic. You want to share the message because it sounds very religious, and that is exactly why people tend to get really annoyed when you get in their face about keto. You do not want to evangelize, you don't want to proselytize. The quickest way to turn someone off to even thinking about trying this is to be in their face about it all the time if they have not asked you for help. So that's kind of a big distinction there too. You know, people write to me a lot. My mother-in-law was just diagnosed with diabetes. Do you have any studies I can send her? Or can you, what's the best video for her to watch? And da da da. And my first question is always, has this person asked for your input? Have they asked for your help? If not, then the best course of action is to zip it and keep your yap shut. If they have asked you for help, that's a whole different thing. Now, let's talk about too, so two things, and I have a tiny bit of notes. I have like an itty bitty little pipsqueak of notes here. There's your actions with regard to keto, and then there's the actions of others. So let me just try to remember, I'm putting a pin. So those are my two distinctions: your actions and the actions of others. Your actions meaning, let's say, this is usually more common in people that are new to keto, because when you're new, it's like you're so excited, and because you're not hungry and you've just lost 8 pounds, and oh my gosh, it's going so well, and you have to tell everybody you know, and oh my god. So those of us that have been doing this a while, it's just my food. I don't even ever use the phrase keto lifestyle, because it's not my lifestyle, it's just the food. It's just like my diet. It doesn't influence the rest of my life. But anyway, you never want to be that person. You don't want to be that guy or that girl. And who is that guy or girl? It's the person who, when you're kind of new to keto, or even if you're not kind of new, you're at a restaurant together in a group setting and you are just announcing. Nobody asked you to declare anything. You're just offering up, oh, I can't have that. That has so many carbs. Oh, I can't have bread anymore. That's not keto. Oh, you're eating, I can't have dessert. I'm not going to have dessert because I'm keto and I can't have anything here. I'll just have coffee. Or I can't well, I'll get the salad with the grilled chicken because that's keto and I can't. Or oh you're having I can't imagine eating that bowl of pasta. Do you know how many carbs that is? Do you have any idea how irritating that is to other people? They don't care about what you are eating and what you are not eating. They do not care. They didn't ask you to give the play by play. You're not the commentator on the football game. Like, just eat your food and go about your life like everybody else does. And the I think there's something else I want to say about your behavior before I get to other people's behavior. I'm just looking at my notes here. Right. So it's like, just this keto thing is working really well for you. Great. Keep it to yourself and just keep doing great. If you and your husband have been enjoying this great new sexual position, you wouldn't be shouting that from the rooftops. Or, maybe you would. I don't know. Like, maybe you would, but it seemed. And why wouldn't you just randomly spout out the sexual positions that you and your partner enjoy? Because it's nobody's business. It's nobody's business how you enjoy the time in the bedroom or wherever you are in your activities. Never assume that it's just the bedroom, people. But it's nobody's business what you eat. It's just nobody's business. So anyway, that's bleeding over into other people's behavior. So let's talk about the other people's behavior a little bit. And then there is, I'm sticking another pin. I do want to get back to the issue of when it is your business, because to some extent it is your business. So talking about other people's behavior, let's say you are quiet about your awesome keto diet. You're having all this great success, but you understand how fraught and how contentious this can be, especially with the people closest to you, your family and close friends. So you haven't been going on and on about keto for weeks or months or days even. You just eat your food and go about your business. What happens when you are trying to do that? You're just keeping to yourself, doing your thing, eating your keto food, and other people are commenting, you're not having the bread? Oh, why aren't you having the pasta? Oh, you're having all that butter? You're not cutting the fat off that steak? You're going to eat all that fat? Or is that, you're not, they bring the bread basket. Oh, you're not going to have a roll? Like, or, I don't know, like, I don't see a steak. Are you doing keto? Or, I tried to do keto and my doctor said it was dangerous. Or just whatever they're going to say. They're commenting. They are making unsolicited, uninvited comments. All you can do is remain calm and be diplomatic. Be friendly, be calm. Always make a point to be the bigger person. And I don't mean bigger, I mean bigger like rise above, be the higher person, take the high ground, the moral high ground. Although it's not really moral, but you know what I'm saying? Like, don't let it upset you. And if people question it, if they're trying to talk you out of it, or, my doctor said that's dangerous, or, I saw the dietitian at the hospital and she said I have to have, I'm diabetic, so I have to have this many carbs at every meal, and the dietitian said, all you can do is, nod and smile and say, well, I've been doing this for a couple of weeks or a couple months, and I feel great. I really do. Like, for the first time in my life, I can go 4 or 5 hours without snacking. I just have 2 or 3 meals a day. I don't need to snack. My migraines are gone. I haven't had to pop an aspirin in a month. My PMS was so much less severe this month. That was all. I didn't have any cramps. My blood sugar has dropped 30 points after meals. Like, I think I'm doing pretty well. Or I lost 4 pounds last week. You can just say, this is working really well for me. And in the best case scenario, you might say, well, that's fine if your doctor said it was dangerous. My doctor told me to do this. My doctor said you need to do keto. Or, I am reading this book co-written by a medical doctor from Duke University who's been using this exact diet in his practice for 20 years. So, it's but don't say it so so roughly like I did. You want to be more diplomatic. You just you know, you don't owe anyone an explanation. My friend Casey Durango, go keto without, I said go keto without Casey because I'm thinking keto without the crazy. It just comes off my tongue. Go keto with Casey, without the crazy. She has a line that's just fabulous. She says, "No one gets a vote on what you eat." Amen, Casey. No one gets a vote on what you eat. None of their business. Now, I want to read you an excerpt from this book, but I stuck the pin and I remembered to come back. When is it your business? It might be your business if it's your spouse or your parent or your child or your sibling or a dear treasured friend who, if they have a medical problem, particularly a severe one, something that's like really, out of like starting to get really bad, you could say something. You have to be very, very careful about how you approach the discussion, but I do think it's your business at that point, because if it is your spouse, they have a moral obligation, a moral duty to you to be healthy and live long. No? Assuming you're still happily married, assuming you still love each other, that person has somewhat of a moral duty to you to be in good health, or as good of health as they can achieve from wherever they are. And as a parent, especially if you have children together, if this person is the father of your children or the mother of your children, they have a moral responsibility to be healthy and live long for the kids, if not for you, right? So you do have a vested interest in their health. You certainly have a vested interest in your kids' health if they have a medical situation and you're the adult who's buying the food in the house, or depending on the age of the child. A 6-year-old isn't going to go to the corner store and get themselves whatever, or maybe they will, but you know what I'm saying? Like, who has the purse strings in that household? Who's buying the food? And that's a whole other video of like feeding kids and put food boundaries and rules around kids. I don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole, but certainly if a child has a medical issue that could be helped with keto. But your parents too. You, especially in this day and age now where people are living very long, but we have a longer lifespan than we do a health span, meaning your health might run out before your life runs out. You might spend the last 2, 5, 10 years of your life catatonic, in a diaper, institutionalized, something, or not, but just unable to care for yourself in some way, even if you have all your faculties. Like, you might just, you have a moral duty to your children, to your adult children, to stay healthy as long as you can and mobile and independent as long as you can, before they would have to step in and care for you. Not that like they wouldn't want to do it. I saw my parents do it with my grandparents, and I know a lot of other people do it, but make it so that obligation or sacrifice that they have to do is for as short a time as possible. Don't make them do it for 10 years. Make them do it for a week, best case scenario. But you know what I'm saying? Like, to a best friend, or just, like a sibling. We have, I think, anyway, it's my opinion, kind of a moral duty to those who love us and who want us to be around for a long time, and who would probably prefer us, if we are around for a long time, to prefer us to be able to get up and move around, or to be able to join us on the hike because they don't have the joint pain anymore, to be able to, I don't even know what, like to play the piano at the family reunion because the arthritis is gone. Like, to fully participate, we have to be able to participate. And of course, like, I never want to neglect people that have a disability of some sort where you have limitations just no matter what. Like, keto isn't gonna fix you if if you are a quadriplegic, if you were in an accident or had some kind of trauma. Like, so if I say participate fully, it's participate fully to whatever your fully is, you know? So I just want to not gloss over that. So I it is your business. Now, how would you broach this topic? It's because it is sensitive. It can feel threatening to the person because they haven't asked for this. They haven't invited you to talk to them about this. It can feel like you are judging them or condemning them or shaming them in some way. Even if you don't mean to, you're doing it because you love them and you care about them and you want to see them happy and well and mobile and great, But they don't know that. They don't. This is all very contentious. Like, I think like probably entire textbooks have been written about this kind of psychology, and I am not a psychologist by any means. So I think the way to have the conversation is to get permission to have the conversation. Don't just show up on their doorstep with a stack of books and like a list of YouTube videos to watch, and like, I think have a very calm, kind of loving, soft, that's not the greatest word, but like a very safe discussion to introduce the possibility of having the conversation. You say, hey, you were diagnosed with diabetes, you told me about it, and I know that diabetes over the long term is really a bad gig. It's, people have eye problems, kidney problems, many type 2 diabetics gain a lot of weight. You could eventually end up needing to inject insulin. Like, you don't want to go. I would hate to see you go down that road. I've been doing this ketogenic diet, or don't even use the K word. Don't even use keto because it's so off-putting. You can just say low carb. Like, hey, I cut way back on carbs in my diet, like way back, and I feel great. And I've been doing some reading. I've been following a lot of doctors online. If you want to mention that, I've been following actually a lot of medical professionals who endorse doing this and who use it literally to reverse type 2 diabetes in their practices. And so I would love to talk to you about it. I would love to like give you some information. Are you open to that? Would that be okay with you? Can I send you some links? Can I like give you a book? Like, what, and if they say yes, if they are okay with that, then maybe go into that, like, okay, where should I start? Like, would you prefer me to recommend my favorite book, or should I send you like my top 3 favorite videos? Because some people never read ever. I can't get enough reading. If I would be able to pay my rent by just sitting on my couch all day with a book, I would be happier than I don't know what. But some people hate to read. Some people will only watch videos or only listen to podcasts. That's fine. That's fine. There's so much content out there now, but that's the thing too. There's so much content. What would you even send them? Besides keto without the crate. But no, like, what? You can't just say, go to Twitter and look for the keto hashtag. Oh, please, dear God, don't do that. Don't send them to like keto Facebook purgatory. Send them something reliable that's easy to digest, so to speak. A book that isn't 800 pages. So anyway, but that's how to have that conversation. That's how to talk to other people about keto when it is your business. If it's not your business, you just don't. You don't intervene. You don't offer any advice. Now, if they have asked, yes, go crazy, but well, not so crazy that you overwhelm them, because that's a dangerous spot too. But I really just with the people whose business it is of yours. And you can even put that into the permission conversation. Like, you know, if let's say it's your spouse, you know, and you have kids, I I'm worried about you, you know. You're getting worse and worse every year. You're more tired, you're more debilitated, you're on more medicine. I want you to be around for our kids. I want you to see our daughter graduate from college. I want you to see our son get married. Like, I would love to see you healthier. Can I tell you a little bit about what I'm doing? Can I tell you how it works when you cut carbs and why that's so helpful? Um, and then let's see. Yeah. Or if it's a friend, same thing. Like, I love you. You're my best friend. You're my dear friend. I don't want to lose you. Like, and I not even just to death, like, you know, but I don't want you to get to a point where you can't leave the house because you're so exhausted or you've lost your mobility or something, like, or I don't want, you know what I mean? I don't want you to be saddled by all this medication and all this pain. Like, you can wrap that in. Like, I love you. I want you to be well. And you know, would it be okay with you if I just shared some information with you about low carb diets and what they do and how they work? And if not, you know, if now you'd rather not, you're not comfortable with it, I understand, no problem. If you change your mind at some point in the future, I'm here. Let me know. I think that's important to do too. Give them the option, because the answer might be no. The answer might be no. I really appreciate your concern, but I'm still digesting this diagnosis. It's new. I'm scared. Like, just don't even, you know, come back to me in a month, or, you know, try me again in 3 months, whatever. Let them come to you. So that's the way to approach that. And then I do want to read from End Your Carb Confusion. Any of you that happen to have this book, if you have the print version, what I am reading is on page 184, 184. It's in chapter 11, the frequently asked questions. If you have a Kindle version, the page number might be different. I have no idea how Kindles work. I do not own one. And we've gotten many, many requests for an audio version. It is coming. They are working on it as we speak. I don't know when it's going to be ready. But I will tell you one quick funny story before I read the excerpt. The reason I know they're working on it is because Dr. Westman and I were not invited to record it. That's fine. They hired like a professional, our publisher hired a professional voice actor who does these books. And, you know, but there's a lot of like medical words in here and complicated words, like, you know, benign prostate hyperplasia, or polycystic ovarian syndrome, or fibromyalgia. And the voice actor requests that you record yourself saying the word correctly so that they don't mess it up, so that they know how to say it properly. And they give you a list of all the words that they need you to say. And so I had to record myself saying those words. Like, so it was just really funny. I was like, I'm trying to think of another example, maybe of one that's, I don't even see any words in here that were of that variety, but like, I gotta find one, because they needed you to say it twice. So if they had it on the list, like, I don't even know. Like beta hydroxybutyrate, that was one of them, right? So it was on the list. So I was recording beta hydroxybutyrate, beta hydroxybutyrate. And I had to do that for like 100 words. It was a little weird. Anyway, page 184. This is a bit long, but I want to read it to you because this basically addresses a lot of the issues that come up when people ask you about the diet and poo-poo it and want to weigh in and they feel threatened. These are the food pushers. Oh, surely you can have just one piece. Oh, but I made your favorite coconut cake. Oh, but it's Friday night. You have to have the popcorn. It's, you know, it's Saturday morning. You have to have waffles, not chocolate. You know what I mean? Like, these people are rebelling for a reason, and they might not even know the reason. I'm going to tell you the reason right now. And it's long. It's like both pages, but here goes. And this is from the FAQ. What if my family or friends don't support me? Ah, a very common issue. People get awfully worked up when people close to them make life changes. A new job, a new romantic partner, a new diet, anything that threatens to change the status quo and alter relationship dynamics can make people uncomfortable. This is understandable. It's human nature and no one is immune. If you previously went out regularly with a group of friends, they might be uncomfortable if you either opt not to join them anymore or do go but eat very differently than you ate in the past. Spouses and significant others can feel particularly threatened when a partner makes a major change, especially one that might result in significant weight loss. And I'll go off the map just here for a second. Oh no! I have it later in this book. There are different ways to navigate relationships when you change your diet. If friends and family are supportive, great. That's how it should be. The people who love you should encourage you and celebrate your victories, large and small, especially if they involve your efforts to improve your health. And remember, your whole family can do the Adapt Your Life diet with you, even if no one else is trying to blah, 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 blah. Okay, even if they don't join you in this way of eating, you hope they'll be your cheerleaders and not your enablers. That's an ideal situation, though. More likely, someone in your life, or perhaps multiple people, will feel so threatened by the potential changes they see in you that they'll try to sabotage you, intentionally or unintentionally. Sabotage often comes in the form of food pushing. Oh, you can have just this one taste, or aren't you going to have any dessert? I made your favorite. It also comes in the form of enabling, offering you pieces of something they know you find irresistible, or keeping treats in the house that they know you can't stay away from. It can even present as passive aggression, eating your favorite high carb foods right in front of you on purpose. Food and eating trigger powerful feelings in people, often because those around you who are not making changes may feel like you're judging them, and significant others may worry that if your physique or health status changes substantially, they might not be good enough for you anymore, right? When I said, especially if these changes could involve a substantial weight change, people get very nervous. Because now all of a sudden, you're not going to be the fat, funny one, you're going to be the hot one. You're going to be the hot friend who gets all the attention, or you're going to be the hot spouse who now all of a sudden you're getting hit on at work. Whereas before you were just the fat, dumpy secretary or whatever you were. You know what I mean? Like, not that fat equals dumpy. Like, you know what I mean? So, understand that these feelings have nothing to do with you and everything to do with the person expressing them. Their fears, their insecurity, their uncertainty about how they'll fit into your life if you have a substantial transformation. They don't genuinely want to sabotage you. They're just scared. They might not even be capable of recognizing that fear is the issue, but you know, and now you can navigate those relationships with tact and grace. If people, and this is something I said earlier, if people close to you express negative feelings about the changes you're making, consider having a polite and calm conversation about those feelings. Let them know you understand their perspective, but make it clear that you're making these changes because you want to live a better life. If obesity or a major health issue is compromising your quality of life, then improving these things can only make you a better friend, parent, spouse, sibling, or coworker. Having a frank and honest discussion about how your health or weight is affecting you, physically and mentally or emotionally, and sharing openly with them can provide them an opportunity to do the same. Perhaps they know their own life is limited because of similar issues, but they haven't felt it was safe to be honest about it. Opening the door for this conversation can help both of you. Eating is such a significant part of our culture. Reassure your friends and family that you can still go out with them. You're just going to be ordering differently than you were before. The food on your plate will be different, but you are the same person with the same sense of humor and the same bond, and the opportunity for good conversation and fellowship hasn't changed. If you're the primary cook in your household, it's not much different. You'll still prepare the food for the table, you'll just be avoiding the starch. If people in your life still want to interfere with you accomplishing your goals, it might be time to reassess the value of those relationships. This is easier to do with people outside your immediate family, of course. Even with relatives, though, you can take a firm but diplomatic stance. You are the only person living in your body, so you are the only one who decides what you eat. And there's one last paragraph, I think. Yes. Keep in mind that the quickest way to turn others off to this way of eating is to proselytize about it. Didn't I say that earlier? Don't be that person, the one who can't eat a single molecule of food without commenting about how many carbs it does or doesn't have. Don't bring attention to what you are and are not eating. And don't sermonize about the amounts of carbs people around you are consuming. You won't want people judging you or commenting on your low-carb food selections. Give them the same respect concerning the foods they eat, even if they're living with obesity or a health issue you know would be helped by carbohydrate restriction. Be the example. Stick to the program, look and feel your best, and when people start to notice how much you're changing for the better, they'll come to ask you what you're doing. Let me repeat that last part. Be the example. Stick to the program, meaning the program in here. Look and feel your best. And when people start to notice how much you're changing for the better, they'll come to ask you what you're doing. So the answer to how do I talk to everybody about keto is you don't. You set the example, be friggin' awesome, and they will flock to you. You don't have to, can I talk to you about keto? Can I tell you what I'm doing? They will beg you to tell them what you're doing. So, I do, like I said, I do want to make the exception for if it's somebody very close to you who you do have a real vested interest in their health and well-being and their long-term health and well-being, then I do think it's appropriate to have the conversation, but do that permission-seeking conversation first. That is critical, because if your, well-intentioned and well-meaning educational sermon is not welcome, it's just bad juju. Don't do it. Don't do it. Get permission. Make sure the person actually is willing to sit down and listen to you talk about keto, and then you can talk about keto. Until then, the first rule of Keto Club is what? Don't talk about Keto Club. Okay. And I do say that knowing that a lot of people learned about keto because somebody was talking about it, because somebody told them about it. My aunt, the lady at the shoe store, like the waiter at the restaurant, like, you don't have to keep completely quiet about, because you could change somebody's life with just a comment to a stranger. You could change their life. But I also think that if it's someone who's a regular visitor in your life, whether it's a close loved one or like an acquaintance you come across every now and then, they'll notice what you're doing and they will ask, like, oh, you've lost so much weight, what are you doing? Or like, oh, I don't know, I guess they would have to find out if you've reversed diabetes or something, but like, I don't know, like you do want to share, but it's just such a slippery slope. And I mean, I lost my train of thought. I had something more profound to say about this specific thing. Let me pause here for a second. Just like I was saying, don't proselytize, except you kind of do want to say something every now and then because it could really help somebody. But I just think, there's so much information out there now about keto and low carb that if somebody is interested, they'll find it on their own. Now, God only knows what they'll find. They might find someone telling them to eat 12 cups of greens a day or whatever they're doing over there, but um, but they'll find something, and they'll eventually stumble upon something that works. But that's it, I guess. I mean, anyway, that's it. That's it for now. Tread lightly when people invite you to tell them about it and they specifically ask you. It's great, but like I said, even then, be careful, beware of how much you're throwing at them. It's the, the phrase they use of like drinking from a fire hose. Like, just give them a little water bottle with some sips. Don't turn the hose on full blast. Um, and yeah, if the person says no, they don't want any information about keto, then okay, cool. And either never bring it up again ever, or reapproach in like 4 months, but give it some time. Give it some time. Maybe then just say, hey, like, have you given any more thought to the low carb, or cutting carbs at all? No. Oh, okay. Just thought I'd ask. It's been a while. I just wanted to check in. um or like I said, maybe that person would actually say, I'm just stunned by this diagnosis, or like I'm overwhelmed. I just need a break, like, call me in 3 weeks and we'll talk about, like, whatever it is. Just respect whatever the person wants. I know it's hard to watch somebody who you kind of know keto would change their life. You know it. And they just don't care. They're not interested. They don't want to do it. They don't even want to know about it. And I know that's hard because that was my mother. My mother, who is no longer with us, rest in peace. She died at age 65. Her official cause of death was AML, a very, very acute, aggressive cancer. But she had very, very poorly managed type 2 diabetes for many years. She was on like every medicine under the sun. And she could have done keto. Like, I could have helped her with keto. She didn't want to do keto. Okay, that's cool. Like, you can't make anyone do anything. You just have to love them really, really hard. That's it. Thank you for watching. This was kind of a longer video. I'm trying to keep them a little bit shorter these days, but it's an important topic. So if you are interested in End Your Carb Confusion, there's links below. You can pick it up on Amazon, or preferably even support your local bookstore. If they don't have it on the shelf when you go in, they can order it for you, probably. So, keep those dollars local if you can. And thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.